Good morning. If you notice in the program, I'm not supposed to speak next. So I lost my job in 2014. When I say lost, you know how I kept it here. And I went there. And when I came back, where my work? I said, it has gone. I literally lost it. I went on sabbatical leave. I was ill. I went on took approved sabbatical leave of 7 months. And came back. Maternity leave in the bank I work is 5 months. So it's not as if 7 months is a long time, you know. So it's not like, you bundle up for 7 months. Maternity leave is 5. So it's not like you went away for 5 years. I came back. I said, hey, I'm back. And they said, back to do what? I said, that work that I left. And they said, we didn't see it again. No, it have go. You know. So that's what happened. People say, you lose your job, you get another job. But put it in perspective. I won't tell you how much I was earning. But for 2 consecutive years, I got my bonus. And I wrote a check and bought a house in Lekki. So, not my salary, my bonus. I did that for 2 consecutive years. 3 years I bought assets. First year I bought a Range Rover. Second year I bought a house. Third year, from my bonus, not my salary. So it's not as if, you saved. I didn't save. I didn't need to save. I lost that job. So I lost the job at the same time I lost my health. I had 3 slip discs. Coach Ojoy knows. He didn't know me then, but he knows about it. I had 3 slip discs and I couldn't walk. When I started walking, I needed a walking stick. At the same time, my marriage was, as far as I was concerned, ended. It was so at that period, I was contemplating suicide. It was around 2014, right? Adversity, isn't it? That's what we would call adversity. But I learned from it. I learned a lot from it. I started doing tried different types of businesses. There's something called fuck-up nights, where you tell stories. A lot of us know the stories of people that have succeeded. We don't know the stories of people that have failed. So fuck-up nights started something like that, like TED Talk, but so that everybody realizes, this person that is this today, he didn't get there on his first try or his second or his third. So as you are trying and failing, failure is like adversity, is what you define it as. It's a learning process. So I went through all of that. One of the most important things I learned is what I want to talk to you about. Can I use the word shit? Thank you. Who knows about shit? Who knows what shit is? Forgive me, but you would understand. Who knows? If you don't know what shit is, then you have to leave. Because everybody has to know their shit. Yeah. How many of you pray periodically? Once a week, once a day, once a year, doesn't matter. How many will pray periodically? I pray once in a while, right? How many of you pray and you've gone to somebody's house, you want to use their toilet, you enter, and there's big shit inside. And then you go home and say, God, you see that shit I saw in a narrow's house? I want to shit that kind of big shit. How many people pray like that? Nobody does. How many of you pray that you go to a narrow's house and he puts out this great meal? How many pray, God, I want to be able to eat like that? Yes. If you saw your neighbor go to a rich man's house and he has bought 10 buckets and he goes to the rich man's sock away and starts carrying shit and keeping it in his house, what will you think? It's crazy. Yes. But he says, but that rich man shitting big shit. I want to shit big shit. But let me carry his own. Who does that? Lastly, if he does that and keeps the shit in his house, in his bedroom, what happens? Smells, yes. What else? What does shit attract? Flies. What do flies attract? Sickness. What does sickness bring? Death. Good. So anybody who loves shit for the sake of shit, that is the root of flies and disease and sickness and death. Can I call those things evil? The love of shit is the root of all evil. Okay? Love of shit for the sake of shit is the root of all evil. Okay, so what is shit? No, literal, the one that we flush. What is it? Waste. Waste from what? From what? Okay, good. So if you look at a process, shit is the end of the process. What's the beginning of the process? Healthy food. Eat well, food. Eat your shit. Quality of your shit depends on the... Isn't it? Yeah. If you want to shit good shit, you will eat a balanced diet, and you will drink fluid, and you will eat fruits. The combination of everything, it goes through a process. Your shit is nice and brown and smooth, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Why am I saying all this shit stuff? Money is shit. Money is. It's not like shit. Money is shit. And in adversity, when you are down on the floor, one of the things I learned to build back your financial strength is having a healthy relationship with money. When you shit, it is a necessity. We must, if you don't think shitting is necessary, if you don't think shitting is good, if you think shitting is nasty, try not shitting for 2 weeks. Try it. You will find that moving around will become a difficulty. It's a necessity, but you have a healthy relationship with shit. You shit, you wipe your ass, immediately, do you stand and admire, oh, this shit, you're so nice. What do? Flush it straight away. You know exactly what to do with shit. You don't leave it there and say, you know what, I'm not really sure whether I want to look at it. Maybe I should bring my wife to see it. No, immediate, before you shit, you prepare water, toilet, everything as it comes. Bam, you sort it out. You do not keep it. You keep it, what does it attract? And yes, money is shit. Money is the end product of a very specific process. All the inputs into that process will determine the quality of the end product. If I have lactose intolerance, I dare not drink milk. I drink milk, the quality of my shit is going to be horrible. It's going to be right? I need to make this very visual so nobody forgets, don't worry, right? So if I see somebody like Steph, Steph is eating ice cream and drinking milk, and I go and copy her, and I have lactose intolerance, I ain't going to shit her shit. I'm going to shit my shit and then be in toilet for 3 or 4 days shitting that shit that I will not like. Okay? So everybody has to understand their personal process. Your body digests food different from me. Do you know what I had for breakfast? Me and Stephanie, we go and carry, Coach Ojo is here. We'll go and carry the same tire. But I had ice cream for breakfast with croissant and my cookies here. Because I understand my metabolism. I can do it and get away with it. Some people will do it by this time next week. Then they stand on that scale. The scale will be like, waiting, you don't do now. See us now. See our life. So you have to understand yourself. And so what is that process? When you've come across adversity, and a lot of us come across adversity that we can't handle. Yeah? It is from not handling it. It's like when you go to the gym, the first time you lift that weight, you put it down. Maybe for 2 days you're sleeping. But you go back again, isn't it? And you lift it again. And maybe for only 6 hours you sleep. After some time, you start, you now say, this thing, was it this thing that was stressing me? You dump it, and you get a bigger one. There's nothing wrong with failing. There's nothing wrong with falling. There's nothing wrong with adversity. The question is, in adversity, after adversity, how have you prepared for the next one? Because like Anara said, it will come. It comes based on your state of mind, not based on events. So that's why I started with my adversity that brought me down. I also noticed certain things, something very special about adversity. There's a special group of people who, when the universe or when life wants to use them, I noticed something. It happens quite often. It looks for people who have, on their own strength or talent or gift or learning or whatever, your own, you have risen to the top. And then life looks at you and says, this guy is a hard worker, he's a smart worker, he's diligent. If life wants to use you, do you know the first thing life does to you? Adversity. It makes sure the adversity breaks you. It makes sure life does not start with you until it has broken you. And you know the funny thing? The more you resist it, it's like, the more it's like, this guy is strong, sha. This small hammer is not working. Brings a bigger hammer. This guy is still standing. Brings bulldozer. Until it breaks you. It doesn't start rebuilding you. Because when you see, and everybody's breaking is different. When you're broken and on the floor, what I tell people is, what broke you indicates what needed to be broken. Because when you rise to the top, there are certain qualities you have. They are natural. I rose to the top of my career. I was doing very well. But you see, when you rise on your own strength, you run a risk of being arrogant. You run a risk of being conceited. You run a risk of being unempathetic, as in, why are you suffering? You can't work hard, my friend. What was that? Did I not work hard? I'm selfish. You run all those risks. And the life looks and says, I can't use you with all of this rubbish. You worked hard there? Okay. Your own strength there? Okay. And then let us see how much of that strength you really have. Bus, 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 bus. They know how to kill myself, how to die. And then life says, I thought you were strong. Who did this happen to? Let's start. Let's use, you look like a Muslim, right? So I'll use, Moses in the Bible is Musa, isn't it? Moses rose on his own strength to become Prince of Egypt, second in command. That gave him pass. He ended up looking after sheep, right? Joseph was the equivalent of Dangote's son, spoiled child. Not talking to his brothers anyhow. What, me? I dreamt all of you will serve me. What rubbish is that? I said, okay, not a bad guy. Let's use him. Pass. He became a servant somewhere. Went into prison, went to Kirikiri, was suffering there. Right? Saul of Tarsus rose. What did he say? Hebrew of Hebrews. Pharisee of the tribe of Benjamin. Okay. Pass. He was blind. He couldn't walk around for 3 days. That's what life does. And then it builds you from there. Job. I mean, there are plenty. You could look at plenty examples. People, they rise. But what you look for is when they were down, when they came back up, what was that quality they came up with? That helps you determine how hard. So that when life gives you one small knock, you just lie down and say, I've seen it. I've seen the problem. Let us not bring bulldozer for this matter. It's not serious like that. So what was it? Moses was impatient. He had to tend sheep. Can't be shouting at sheep now. The sheep. Can't shout. Yeah, you know how you want everything done in a hurry. Well, build it. So take sheep. 40 years. Can't be shouting at them to do anything. What do you think? Can you imagine Moses' life? An impatient man. Oh yeah, let's go and eat. Sheep. Let's go. He will shout. He will. After some time, he will calm himself down. Start saying, please don't be angry. Let's go. Right? Joseph, my very good friend. Arrogant guy. What did he learn in prison? He was in prison. He was in the king's prison. King's prison is not the prison with sofa bed and all that too. Because if I offend DPO, he will put me in cell. Right? If I offend Buhari, he won't put me in Kirikiri. He will disappear me. You won't find me. And I will not be somewhere with sofa. He was in the king's prison. That was the worst place to be. And everybody there, what do you think their emotional states would be in that prison? Anxiety, fear, it's all be negative, right? In that negativity, guess what? Joseph noticed that 2 people were sad. They were all in prison. It's not like they were playing football. They were in prison. Everybody was sad. But Joseph noticed. What does that tell you about what he learned in that adversity? Empathy. He understood emotional intelligence. He understood empathy. He understood putting himself under people. How do I know that is correct? When Pharaoh had a problem, he went to Pharaoh and said, you know what? This is the problem, and this is the solution. He gave it for free. He was no longer that guy of arrogating importance to himself. Said, no, you have this problem. This is the problem. I can see the problem. This is the solution. Go and do this, and this problem goes away. That's how you know he had learned. And life said, my guy. And Pharaoh said, you know what, what's the point? Why should I look for anybody? Sure, you understand this thing? From prison, was it overnight? Say overnight success. No. How long did he spend in prison? I don't know how long. I calculated about 13 years. But I know, remember the butler forgot him for 2 years. Forgot him. So he had been there. So it's not, when you say overnight, it's not overnight. He spent a long time being built. So that when he stepped into the role, he knew exactly what to do. It wasn't overnight. People see me. I lost my job 2014. Tried to do oil and gas. When I started doing oil and gas, started from zero. When I say I started from zero, there was a point in 2015 that it was the money my pastor dashed me that I used to pay my children's school fees. So when I say I was from ground zero, I'm not saying, people say, but I did have property. Not like you can sell one room and get money, and you can't sell the whole house. So it was a tough period. But the first deal I got in oil and gas, this is me just entering and saying, okay, help me talk to your uncle, help me talk to your brother. I'm just trying to find my feet again. I got a call. Is this Zeal? Yes. My Oga said I should come and see you. Who are you? Oh, I'm this person calling from Chevron. I'm like, Oga, don't come and see me. I will come and see you. My Oga said I should find you. Where's your office? He came to my office. We had a meeting. Till tomorrow, I don't know who his Oga is. I don't know who sent him. I don't know who made that call on my behalf. He came to my office with a contract. Dropped it and said, this contract, this guy cannot do it. We in Chevron, we know. So what we are willing to do for you is, if you can do it, we will force him to subcontract it to you. Whatever you need us to sign so that we pay you instead of him, we will do it. But we need this thing done. You have 6 weeks to come back to us on whether or not you can do it. How much was that contract? Guess. Wild guess. Anybody?
Just say it.
$88.1 million. Yes. Did I do the contract? No. Because at the time, I was going to people's sockaway to carry their shit and keep in my room. I was not prepared for the success I was looking for. Because when they brought the contract, I realized I don't have DPR permit. Oh, I didn't register with NIPEX. And I had obstacles. I was unprepared. I needed a bank loan. I had not opened bank account. And I had 6 weeks. I can't do like 6 weeks and borrow. It's not possible. And so I learned that you are praying for something, that you want something, that you are working towards something, does not mean you are preparing for it. It doesn't mean the same thing. You have to, how did you put it, understand what adversity is. Understand what purpose it is meant to serve in your specific life and prepare for it. There are people that pray for car. They want big car, they want G-Wagon, they want all that. You now ask them, but you live in Shomolu, where would you park it? And we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You're like, okay. Okay, no problem. Do you understand? And people pray for things, and when they are praying, you listen to their prayer, and this is where coaches like an hour are very skilled. They can hear that you want something, but you're not prepared for it. And sometimes life wants to teach you a lesson and say, this thing you ask, take now. Then I can say, this TV I asked for. Or someone says, I see that fridge, double door fridge, I want this big fridge. You know what happened? Life will say, no. To help you. You go somewhere, you win raffle. You see that fridge, you win it. You celebrate, you go and give Thanksgiving, then you go and carry it. I say, how will I carry it? I don't have a car. Then you go and hire pickup. Then you carry it to your house. Then you find out that your house door is 4 feet wide and the fridge is 8 feet wide. What will you do? Life will be saying, if you want something, you must prepare for it. You cannot prepare for what you do not understand. So a lot of my friends come and say they need money. And I say, look, if you tell me you need money, I'll interrogate it. If you really, 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 really need money, you know where I'll tell you to visit? A psychiatric home. Anybody that tells you and sincerely believes that they need money is mad. You know why? Money doesn't do anything. Money is an illusion. Anybody that wants money wants what money can do. So what your desire should be on is what it can do. Money is the means to get it done. So for example, I'll tell you a true story. Someone came to my office. Because I do financial advisory, because we're close, Zeal, I need your help. I said, okay, it's not official, let's talk. He had 20 million naira. But he needed me to help him make that 20 million 100 million. I don't know. I said, if I could do it, you think you'd have met me? Maybe I could do it. You think I'll be waiting for people to come and tell me? But I said, why do you need? He said he needs to buy a house. There's a house he's seen. It's a good deal, blah, blah, blah. The house is 100 million. He needs to buy the house. So he needed 80 million more. Should he borrow? Should he? I'm like, huh? What do you need the house for? He says he'll rent it out. I said, do you have where you're living now? Yes, it's rented. You want to move in there? He says, no. He will keep renting his place. He likes it, but he wants to buy a house so he can rent it out. Like, why? He says, because the rent from that area, he'll get like 6 million a year. I'm like, okay. That he'll get steady income. I said, okay. What do you need 6 million a year for? He says he needs to give his wife. For what? To take care of the home, his children's school fees, that he'll just let his wife so that the home can run for the next 2 or 3 years. And I'm like, why? He says because there's a business he wants to do and he thinks it will take him 18 months to 2 years to settle down before he starts making money. Like, okay, so 3 years rent from this house, 18 million. Yes, so you need to get 80 million to buy a house to make 18 million to settle your wife and others. How much do you say you have again? And he got up and left. You know why? He came to my office 80 million poorer and left 2 million richer because he changed his mind. He realized, for him, that was adversity. But he realized that he had everything he needed. But there's something that poverty mentality does, that you don't see what you have. One of the things, when you think you're in adversity, like you said, shuts you down. You only see hopelessness. He doesn't. He's holding 20 million, and you want to find 80 million to invest so that you get 18. If you believe that business you want to do, set 18 million aside from your 20 million now. Then, if I don't set 18 million, set 6 million aside, because your business is going to work, unless you don't believe that business is going to work. Once with that, he just got up and left. Said thank you. It's okay. I'm fine. So this is what happens to people when they are down. When you believe you're down, as long as you believe where you are is down, what next step would likely happen to you is hopelessness. So what you need to keep telling yourself at every point in time is, if I'm this down, then life must have a much bigger plan for me. The question is, what quality is it? It's like when you pass gold through the fire. Imagine your gold going through that heat. I say, this my owner hates me. How can you put me through all this heat? And all this heat, psh, your clothes, everything is burning and sizzling around you. If you don't understand that this is a process to purify you, what gold will likely do is, like somebody is trying to get me naked because that's what's best for me. When you put me in the fire, I'll be holding on to the shirt tightly and holding it tight, not realizing that if I can see adversity in advance and I know what the purpose is by understanding it, when you tell me, Zeal, come out through that fire, say, it's not serious like that. I will remove the shirt. Let me remove the shirt and the trousers. Say you want me naked. We don't have to go through fire. And life will respect that. And so what then happens is you will start to treat your desire for money like shit. Before you get the money, you know exactly what to do for it. You put your tissue paper there, you put your water there. When it is time, you go in, you do your business, you come out. When you're down and you come back up, one of the things that happens is when you've risen to the top and you come down, when you start rising again, one of the things that leaves you completely, you know what it is? The fear of loss. Because you've lost everything before, you've come back. So if the universe or life or God were to make a demand of you of what you have, very, very easily, you'll be like, take. Because what's the worst that will happen? I've been here before. So your attachment to things of this world crashes. That is what the process is for. It makes you, it gives you, there's a confidence it gives you. When I was in the bank, if I was walking around with less than 100,000 in cash in my pocket, I'm very one kind. What if something? Now I go out. What's the worst that will happen? Do you understand? We've been there. We've driven. I went for my younger sister's wedding. I went to the ATM. 20,000. Insufficient balance. 10,000. Insufficient balance. Check balance. Okay, 9,000. I withdrew 9,000. This is a true story. It was just after I lost my job. And went to my Range Rover. I lost the job, not the car. So people still see you, big boy. You don't lose the clothes, so they still see you, big boy. They don't know what's going on. I bought 4,000 naira petrol, and I held 5,000 in my pocket. My younger sister's wedding, where was my family? I know when they dance, everybody's spraying. My wife was like, "Is the guy spraying now?" I like, no, this spraying thing, I don't like it. CBN doesn't like it. I don't know. I had 5,000 naira. That was it. So what's the worst that will happen? When you've gone through adversity and you've crashed, as you come back up, your hold, how will I put it? Before adversity, you hold assets, hold you. After adversity, you hold them. And so it's your decision to let them go. If you denominate your needs as money, if you tell me now that you need 1 million naira, what you need is 1 million naira. When you get 1 million naira, when somebody asks you for 10,000, will you give the person? You know why? If you give the person, you no longer have 1 million naira. And so when you denominate your needs as money, you tend to have the propensity to hold on to shit. You're just holding it. And it's not going to be very long before the flies will come, and the maggots will come, and the sickness will come. And this sickness is not physical sickness. It's mental. That's why you see people with 40 houses fighting over a deal that somebody cheated them of $10,000. And you're thinking, seriously? As in, they can't let anything go. We all read the stories about Daisy, and we read the story about these politicians, right? And you keep wondering, what kind of madness is it that you have so much and you're chasing, as in, they don't see what they have. Their lives, because it's denominated in money, they are permanently in adversity. So they don't see it. You are telling them, you are envying them, you are trying to go to their sockaway and carry their shit. Meanwhile, they are looking for another person, and you're wondering, these people are mad. So once you find yourself in a position where you're trying to grow back, especially financially, one of the first things to understand is, what are the personal values and beliefs and qualities that I need to let go of? 2, the relationship with money is very simple. Before it comes, whenever you want to think of how to treat money, that's why I use shit so much. Think exactly of how you treat shit. It's not after you shit, you look for toilet paper. If you do that, you'll be in trouble. It's not after you shit, you look for water. It's before. You prepare it before. So if you know you want to do projects, your project should be denominated in projects. I need my children's school fees. I need rent money. Those are the things you need. You will get them through money, but those are the things you need. So if your children's school fees is 10 naira, children's school fees, I need it. When you are going to look for it, you are looking for children's school fees. Because if you are looking for 10 naira, if you come to me and say, for argument's sake, someone comes to me and says, Zeal, please, I need 5 million naira. I'm sorry, I don't have. What would the person do? He's gone. But what does he need the 5 million naira for? He needs the 5 million naira to buy a car, so that he can put it on Uber, so that he can get 100,000 a month, so that he can pay his child's school fees. And he came to me for 5 million naira, and I don't have. But I sit on the board of a scholarship fund. I own a school. If you came to me and asked me, I need my child's school fees, what would I offer you? Scholarship. Problem solved. But you come and say, 5 million, you don't have. 5 million, you don't have. 5 million, you don't have. My life is over. My children will never go to school again, because you've denominated your life as shit. And you will get treated as shit. And you will get the results of Shit. So, think about money in terms of what you need it for. If you say, I need my children's school fees, it is 50 naira. If somebody offers you 50 naira, the moment you get the 50 naira, what to do with the 50 naira is not in contention. You get it tomorrow, you pay it. You're back to zero. You have no concern about being back to zero because you've satisfied that need. That's what helped me to rebuild and be successful. Thank you.
Awesome.